Hi folks, my name is Steve, and I'll tell you a story about meeting a stranger who offered me a deal that changed my entire life. When I turned 15, Dad explicitly told me I had to think for myself if I wanted to have pocket money all the time. I wasn't happy about it in the first place, but when I actually couldn't afford an ice cream or a coffee anymore, I knew I really had to find a solution. There were plenty of ideas in my teenage mind, but all of them were so implausible I never even got around to trying them out. My granny lived across the town and I'd do grocery shopping for her. She'd pay me 40 or 60 cents or even just let me keep the change. My total earnings reached $1.50 on a good day, not nearly enough for my needs. Then I tried to make a deal with my mom to get paid for good grades. She offered me 75 cents for every A and 45 cents for every B I got. It was fun to watch my profits grow at first, but when I went into the red by the end of the week, the idea lost its appeal. The guy who sat in front of me in class was a known bonehead, but he had wealthy parents and plenty of pocket money all the time. I decided to take advantage of that. The dude behind me, on the other hand, was an outstanding student who excelled in all subjects. Humanities and exact sciences both came naturally to him, to my constant amazement. On top of that, he was a very kind person. He'd give a shirt off his back to help someone, and he'd always solve tests for the entire class. He was the go-to person whenever an exam was scheduled. Anyway, what I did was work out the usual path of his cheat notes that were passed around the class. There are 4 students sitting in front of me, so I can pass notes over to them for a fee. I received some money for the first solution, some more for the second one, but it was the golden boy who paid me for the solution to the third and hardest test problem, and I charged him so much it was a week's worth of pocket money. He never objected though, he was content with passing the exam with a B. So the arrangement lasted almost 6 months, and I was very happy with it. I didn't hesitate to charge my classmates for every little thing at every lesson. Dad was curious about the source of my increasing profits. However, hearing I didn't break any laws put his mind at ease. I enjoyed my business plan greatly until it backfired on me. Our gifted student missed class on the day of an exam, and I didn't want to lose my money. I tried to solve the test for the golden boy myself, but of course I failed and he got a D. Our deal was blown. The conflict escalated to his parents and then to my own. This was the end of my easy money. But a fortunate incident made me rich once again. In November 2016, I was walking home when a man in a dark coat suddenly showed up in front of me. He threw his coat open and I saw a colorful bunch of fidget spinners sewn to its liner. My eyes lit up and I used all the spare change I had on hand to buy a few of the toys. When I reached my house, I showed my new purchase to my friends in the yard. They all vied to buy a fidget spinner from me, and I happily charged them 3 times what I had paid. Now that was a deal. I returned to the bus stop where I met my mysterious man, but he was nowhere in sight. I looked for him every day, all over the neighborhood, and every underpass. But I found no trace of him until a week later. The man noticed my excitement and he offered me to team up. He supplied me with these gizmos, which received more hype with each passing day. I worked in the district where I lived, and the 2 other town districts were his territory. I quickly made enough money to procure his fidget spinners in large quantities, so my profits kept growing. But one day, my partner lashed out at me because he thought I was doing business in his district. He seized me by the collar and yelled. I looked at him and I realized that he was nuts. I tried to explain I never broke our deal, but my words only fanned the flames. I ditched him and started working solo. After scoring the internet, I was happy to learn I could easily purchase fidget spinners wholesale from China, and they'd even be way cheaper. Later on, I came up with the bold idea to collaborate with small shops and stalls. I quickly became one of the main suppliers of fidget spinners in my town. Dad was proud of me. He attributed my success to his own good parenting. I didn't really argue. After all, I'd never have learned anything if it didn't take my pocket money away. So technically, I was thriving thanks to Dad. Fidget spinners remained an incredibly hyped up gizmo in 2017, which let me save up my first $10,000. I used the money to buy a new smartphone and a fancy laptop. I also took a coding course. I was so happy and proud to be working towards my own success. To thank my parents properly, I took Mom to the Caribbean for vacation. Dad was too busy to come with us. The trip turned my worldview around. I realized one can live differently by setting goals and achieving them. This is how I paved my road to success, by buying 3 fidget spinners with the last of my money. Of course I did a lot of work. I ordered and purchased the toys, I delivered them to shops and gathered the profits. So my takeaway from the experience: I got a taste of the good life. Right now I make a living thanks to the coding course. I've learned enough to do all kinds of freelance work. I create websites, I work in Photoshop, and I develop applications for sale. I'm only 20, but I already have an advice for young people. Don't wait to be handed things. Find whatever you're keen on and take it, then keep advancing in that direction to reap massive intellectual and financial profits. Do you guys want more episodes? Then press the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell. Want to see your own story? Then send them over to this email here.